So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A on the channel where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Drop a like rating if you want to. If not, it's totally fine. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. But let's get into today's video. Here we go. So the first question from, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Lawsome 123 maybe? I don't know, but you say, BOA, how come the Primis crew blew up the moon, but the alternate crew blew up the Earth? So we know during Moon in the year 2025, as we're playing as the Ultimus characters, when Richtofen switched bodies with Samantha and he became the controller of the zombies inside of the MPD pyramid, we know in order to stop him from doing any more damage, Nikolai, Takio and Dempsey, along with Maxis, who was in the computer systems on Moon, launched 3 missiles at the Earth, leaving it fractured and broken. The reason why they did that was to disrupt Richtofen's connection to the ether, which slightly set him back. We know from then on he had to contact the transit crew and tell them to fix it to link the pylons so he could gain full control again. But that was the reason why the Ultimus crew blew up Earth. And then, as you also say, as we see in the Eisendrache with the Primis characters, this time we blow up the moon. And the reason for this was to destroy Griffin Station and everyone on it, including Dr. Groff. So there we go, the Ultimus crew blew up Earth in an attempt to stop Richtofen, and the Primis crew blew up the moon in an attempt to stop Group 935. The second question of today says, hey BOA, why does Great War Richtofen have the fire crystal in the end of the Blood of the Dead Easter egg if he uses the wind staff in the end of the Revelations cutscene? So actually it's a good question. If we look in the Revelations ending cutscene, we can see Richtofen on the right is holding up the wind staff. Yet in Blood of the Dead, when he arrives and banishes the evil out of Alcatraz, he holds up the crystal to the fire staff. Now, we don't know 100% that this is the crystal, we are just assuming that. It would only make sense. It hasn't actually been confirmed, but it looks like it, and that's what I believe it is. But yes, it is a little bit strange. You would think after the Great War, when we see this post-Revelations version of Richtofen using the wind staff, just because he's using it doesn't necessarily mean it's his. All of the characters could have used a different one now and again, maybe they switched between them. I don't think they have a specific staff that belongs to them. But we can see during the Great War, Richtofen was using the wind staff. And then we look in Blood of the Dead, and this same Richtofen from that era now has the crystal from the fire staff. Why is this? Well, like I said, just because he was using the wind one doesn't mean it was his. Possibly he could have gone to Takio, who we can see had the fire staff during the Great War. So he could have said to him, Luke, I need this, and then I'll bring it back or whatever. I'm not too sure why he couldn't have used the crystals from the ice staff, for example, or the wind staff. Maybe they didn't hold the power to banish the evil like the fire one. But yeah, as of right now, I don't believe it's something that we can really look too much into. It could be totally nothing, or we could find out during the Great War that there was a reason why he had to take the fire one. We don't know. The next question says, in Revelations, does that mean that the Shadow Man was telling the truth about Dr. Monty? So during the time of Revelations, we didn't know that Dr. Monty was evil. Some of us did have our suspicions, but it was Monty who was the good guy and the Shadow Man who was the bad guy. I mean, he'd been working along with Maxis and Richtofen, coming up with a plan in order to keep not only them alive, but the children as well. Talking about how he had a perfect world that they could all live in, and how he'd been helping them survive all along by giving them the perk machines, the pack-a-punch, the mystery box, the weapons off the wall. So Dr. Monty, as far as we knew during Revelations, was a good guy. Of course, we know now we were totally wrong. It was revealed in Blood of the Dead that actually he was evil all of this time, and we are now going back to the Great War to take him down. But as you say, the Shadow Man actually warned us about Monty in Revelations. It's just that no one really believed anything he was saying. And if we go back and take a look at what he said now, it turns out that actually he was probably telling the truth. And this is what the Shadow Man said to our characters.
You do realize that he's manipulated you? That's what he does. Dr. Monty is just one of the many names he's been known by. The Great Dragon, the Beast. Is this ringing any bells? Beelzebub, Lucifer, Satan, the Devil. You know you died a long time ago, don't you? You saw it. Didn't you realize? Are you really so foolish as to believe his lies? Do you not see the power Dr. Monty holds over you? Do you not see you are being deceived? I can help you! Only through me can you find salvation! You simple-minded fools! Do you really believe you have a chance? This universe belongs to the Apothecons! You will be consumed! I offered you the chance to enter the beautiful blue light, and you denied my mercy! You have followed a path marked by lies and deceit. Many others have failed. Why would you be any different? This has always only ended one way. I have foreseen it.
He told us all the way back then that Dr. Monty is manipulating us. He said that's what he does. Dr. Monty is just one of the many names that he's known by. He's also known as the Great Dragon, the Beast, the Beelzebub, Lucifer, Satan. The Shadow Man was basically telling us that Dr. Monty is the devil, hiding behind all of these personas, I guess, all of these characters that he's made up. I guess Dr. Monty is like his pretend good side. Really, under all of this, it seems like Dr. Monty could be the devil, Satan. Which then brings up another question, well, what is the Shadow Man? Because we've known him as the bad guy. We've always thought of him as like the devil and Monty being a god, but since the Shadow Man tells us that actually Monty's the devil, then what is the Shadow Man? It seems like they're both evil but have different objectives. But as we can see, back in Revelations, the Shadow Man warned us that Monty is tricking us and that actually he is the devil. He also said to us, do you not see the power Monty holds over you? Do you not see that you are being deceived? I can help you. Only through me can you find your salvation. He then went on to say, you know you died a long time ago, don't you? You saw it. Didn't you realise? Are you really so foolish as to believe his lies? And that's interesting because we do know our characters are stuck in a cycle. They have died plenty of times before. We've seen it happen in the Garen Kurovi trailer or Zetsubo no Shima trailer. I've mentioned it many times, but what we don't know is if the characters know that themselves. It seems like every time they die and the cycle is reset, the characters seem to forget what happened. And this is even more interesting because possibly the Shadow Man is talking about what happened after Revelations, because we don't know as of yet the reason why Dr. Monty wants to keep the cycle going. Why is he keeping our characters in a loop? What reason does he have for this? Is it possible that our characters do end up dying in the future past Revelations, and in order for Dr. Monty to survive, the Primis crew have to survive? Maybe that's why he's been keeping them alive all of this time. I'm sure we'll find out in DLC 4 or whatever, but right now we don't know what Monty's motive is to keep the characters trapped in a cycle. But the Shadow Man tells us that they have died a long time ago, but they don't seem to remember it. They don't seem to see through Dr. Monty's lies and the fact that he's been manipulating them every step of the way. And then we can also see Dr. Monty says to the Primis characters,
I know the Shadow Man's probably talking to you. Don't trust him. He's evil. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. I bet he's saying all sorts of terrible things, spreading all kinds of rumors about me. By the way, I spell rumors with a U, after the O before the R. That's a nice little Easter egg. In fact, it's everything. If I'm honest, I'm a bit scared. Seriously. Brown trousers time. I mean, I know it's the same old story. The forces of good and evil battling it out. Yeah, but no one ever tells you how much hard work it is. You know, I'm not all powerful. It's always been a struggle to stay on top of it. Now more than ever. If it had been entirely up to me, it would have been a lot more straightforward, I tell you. Do what you can, eh?
He says, I know the Shadow Man's probably talking to you. Don't trust him. I bet he's saying all sorts of terrible things, spreading all kinds of rumours about me. So again, Monty knew that the Shadow Man was telling Primis about him, telling him that he's evil, that actually he is the devil, he's been tricking us all of this time. Monty knew this, and so, again, he manipulated us by telling us that none of it is true. don't listen to him, and actually he is the evil one. And it kind of even makes me question myself, which one of them is evil? We know Dr. Monty is, we thought the Shadow Man was, but is he truly? Which one's worse than the other? I'm not too sure. And it's interesting that Monty also says, I'm not all powerful, you know. It's actually really difficult to stay on top of it. If it was entirely up to me, it would be a lot more straightforward. And to that, he kind of makes it sound like it's not only him that has a part in this. The way he says, if it was up to me, which I mean, again, he is supposed to be this powerful being. He does say in this quote that at this point in time, he's not as powerful as we think. I mean, we've never really seen what Dr. Monty can truly do. Does he have a second form just like the Shadow Man does, where the Shadow Man can turn into this tentacle creature? Maybe the Shadow Man can turn into something else we haven't seen just yet. But the way he says, if it was entirely up to me, makes it sound like there is someone else involved. Maybe there is a person higher up than Dr. Monty that's telling him what to do. Who knows? And that just gives me even more reason to be excited for DLC 4. I can't wait to see where we're going to go. I can't wait to see how this is going to end. Is Monty going to win? Is the Shadow Man going to win? Which one of them is going to die? Maybe both? I am unsure, so there we go. Anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating if you want to. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.